Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So let's start with Mangalacharan. Let me share my screen. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितामिश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are gonna go to verse 1.15.38. Maybe Vedant Mother Prabhu, you can share your screen for with the verse. I can also pull it up. Let's see. That's okay. I can pull it up, Prabhuji. So this is the verse from Canto 1, Chapter 15. The Pandavas retire timely, and verse number 38. Swaratha pautram vinayinam atmanah susamam gunah तोय निव्याः पतिं भूमेर् अभ्यषिञ्चत् गजाहवये। स्वराठपौत्रं विनयिनम् आत्मानः सुसमं गुणः तोय निव्याः पतिं भूमेर् अभ्यषिञ्चत् गजाहवये। स्वराठपौत्रं विनयिनम् आत्मानः सुसमं गुणः तोयनिव्याः पतिं भूमेर् अभ्यषिञ्चत् गजाह्वये। Devotees, anyone want to recite?
I can try, Prabhu. Swarat pautram vinayinam atmana sushamam gunai toya nivya patim bhumer abhyasinchat gajahave. Thank you, Prabhu.
I would like to try, Prabhu.
Ratundam Nainam Samam Gurai Yo Yo Veya Devone Abhyas Shinta Gajayare.
स्वरात् पौत्रां विनायिनाम् आत्मान सुषमां गुणैः तोय निव्यापतिं भूमेर् अभ्यास सिंचाद् गजा गजा हवे हवे Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
I can try, Prabhu. Sura putram vinayinam atmana susamya gunaya tota nivayam patitram bhavyam asya sifayam gayayame. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. So yeah, we can go to word by word. Swarat, the emperor. Pautram, unto the grandson. Vinayanam, properly trained. Atmanah, his own self. Susamam, equal in all respects. Guneh, by the qualities. Toya, Nivyah, bordered by the seas. Patim, master. Bhumeh, of the land. Abhyashinchat, enthroned. Gaja Havaye, in the capital of Hastinapur. Translation. Thereafter, in the capital of Hastinapur, he enthroned his grandson, who was trained and equally qualified as the emperor and master of all land bordered by the seas. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The total land on the earth bordered by the sea was under the subjugation of the king of Hastinapur. Maharaj Yudhishthir trained his grandson, Maharaj Parikshit, who was equally qualified in state administration in terms of the king's obligation to the citizens. Thus, Parikshit was enthroned on the seat of Maharaj Yudhishthir prior to his departure back to Godhead. Concerning Maharaj Parikshit, the specific word used, Vinayanam, is very significant. Why was the king of Hastinapur, at least till the time of Maharaj Parikshit, accepted as the emperor of the world? The only reason is that the people of the world were happy because of the good administration of the emperor. The happiness of the citizen was due to the ample production of natural produce, such as grains, fruits, milk, herbs, valuable stones, minerals, and everything that the people needed. They were even free from all bodily miseries, anxieties of mind, and disturbances caused by natural phenomena and other living beings. Because everyone was happy in all respect, there was no resentment. Although there were sometimes battles between the state kings for political reasons and supremacy, everyone was trained to attain the highest goal of life, and therefore the people were also enlightened enough not to quarrel over trivialities. The influence of the age of Kali gradually infiltrated the good qualities of both the kings and the citizens, and therefore a tense situation developed between the ruler and the ruled. But still, even in this age of disparity between the ruler and the ruled, there can be spiritual emolument and God consciousness. That is a special prerogative. Therefore, in the capital of Hastinapur, he enthroned his grandson, who was trained and equally qualified as the emperor and master of all land bordered by the seas. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So thank you so much, devotees, for attending Srimad Bhagavatam discussion this morning. And since many weeks we have been discussing about in this chapter the retirement of Pandavas timely, and Lord Krishna has already disappeared from the uh, visible eyes of uh, Pandavas. And then, therefore, in this whole chapter, you won't find Lord Krishna, but how the devotees are different devotees are reacting um to the disappearance of Lord Krishna. In the first part of this chapter, most of the first part of this chapter, it was Arjuna, how Arjuna strong feeling of separation from Krishna when he returned from Dwarika, and then how Arjuna recalls Lord Krishna favor and protection, how he remembers the intimate moments and then felt the absence of Lord Krishna, and then how Arjuna remembered the instructions of the Lord and therefore finds solace after remembering the instructions of the Lord from Bhagavad Gita. And then after all these sections, now we are talking about Maharaj Yudhishthir. And then after Maharaj Yudhishthir, we will talk about, before Maharaj Yudhishthir, there was a verse about Mother Kunti Devi as well. And then after Mother Kunti Devi, it's about Maharaj Yudhishthir. And then after Maharaj Yudhishthir, how other Pandavas retired, and then after other Pandavas there is Vidura, Draupadi, and Subhadra. So there are 7 people mentioned in this chapter, and so basically, uh, that when Lord Krishna disappeared from their eyes, how the devotees react, how the devotees behaved, how the devotees lived, is a very important landmark for us to study their lives so that we can also live in that manner, because uh, even in front of our eyes, we don't have the personal presence of Lord Krishna. Even though Lord Krishna is present in the Archa Vigraha form and in the form of the holy name, we should always feel the separation of the Lord. And therefore, from the lives of all these great souls, the Pandavas, we can learn how Lord Krishna disappearance and how should all we behave, how should all we live our life. So, from the life of Arjuna, we learned about the ashraya taking shelter of the instructions of the Lord. And now, from Maharaj Yudhishthir, we are learning about taking the shelter of the Lord by retiring from our worldly duties. And this verse is more or less about the king, and then whoever I was listening to, whoever commentaries I was listening to, there was a commentary by Srila Prabhupada, there was a commentary on this verse by Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, Indradyumna Maharaj, and everyone was pointing out to the condition of today's world. And then they were discussing about how Maharaj Yudhishthir was, and then what was the social condition. So, in contrast to that, first we would just gonna go to the verse more deeply, and then we will try to understand it a little bit better. Can you all see my screen? I'm sharing my screen.
Not yet,
Not
Prabhu.
yet, yeah. Yeah. Now we can see Krishna's picture.
Oh, it's not getting shared. I don't know. Screen.
Stop from there.
Okay. No, I'm not sharing anything over there. Let's see. That's okay. I'll just share my PPT in here. That's fine. From my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, yeah, we can see it.
Yeah. So this verse is, so basically when we come to this, so before this is the section where Maharaj Yudhishthir is retiring, and before this section we heard from Param Karuna Prabhu in the last class how Kali acted, how the Kali infiltrated in each and every hole, just like a snake can get into small, even the smallest of the smallest hole, and get into some place and then maybe cause mischiefs. Similarly, Kali actually entered in each and every person's heart, uh, entered in wherever we see all the senses, and even in the mind intelligence of the people, therefore people have become lazy, quarrelsome. So all those things we learned last week. And then in this part, it's about, so after we understand how the Kali is, then we, in this part it is about how Yudhishthira Maharaj left everything and enthrones Maharaj Parikshit, and in the next verse it will be enthrones Vajra. So in this section, the first one is he's enthroning Maharaj Parikshit. So it's said Swarat Pautram Vinainam. Yeah. Swarat Pautram Vinainam Atmanah Susamam Gunah Toya Nivyah Patim Bhumer Abhyashinchat Gajah Vaye. So there are two sections in this verse. First is the quality Swarat Pautram Vinay. Swarat here is mentioned as he. Basically, it's mentioning Maharaj Yudhishthir. Swarat and Pautram. Who is the Pautra of Maharaj Yudhishthir? He is Maharaj Parikshit, and then he is Vinay. So just looking at the words Swarat and Vinayanam, the meanings of this word as given by Srila Prabhupada is the emperor, which means the king of the kings and the supreme ruler from the Oxford Dictionary. Now there is another meaning for Swarat. And if any of you remember the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, uh, it's over here. Janmad yasya yaton anvayad itaratascha arteshvabhigyah swarat. So, so actually the meaning of, another meaning of word swarat is fully independent. And when Srila Prabhupada was talking about this verse, he actually mentions that the meaning of the word swarat is one who is fully independent. So if you see in this verse, swarat, pautram vinainam. So Maharaj Yudhishthir is mentioned as swarat. How come a devotee be fully independent, right? What is the meaning of fully independence? We will try to see that now. So a materialist can also be fully independent. A materialist can also be fully independent. What does that mean? He may be dependent on, so if a materialist say, okay, I'm not dependent on anyone, but finally he would be dependent on any of these six things, right? Wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, renunciation. All these six are the six opulence of Lord Sri Krishna. So a materialist may have a lot of wealth and he may think, okay, and he is a king of the state and he may think, okay, I can take care of anything. I can do advertisement. And then I can win the election. Or he may have a lot of strength. We have seen in the past there was kings who had lot of strength and they're completely dependent on their own strength, or they may be famous or very beautiful, or they may be very knowledgeable and renounced. But all these six qualities are some part of infinite similar part uh, of Lord Krishna's potencies. And if, and we have seen now, if even inside our own heart, if we have any of these given by the Lord, we may be filled with the pride and arrogance. So it is not possible for a person to have both. He be a Swarat as well as Vinayanam. That's why Srila Prabhupada says that the word Vinayanam is very significant. Why? Because when a devotee is completely independent, that means he's only dependent on Lord Krishna. And then what does that full dependence means? That he is not even dependent on the votes of the public. He is not dependent on the strength of his army. He is not dependent on the strength of his own self. Maharaj Yudhishthir is like Dharm Raj. So he is not even dependent on the knowledge that he has gained through his teachers, mentors, and gurus. So, but he's completely dependent on Lord Krishna for his own protection and for the protection of his praja. And even with that, he's filled with humility. So these two qualities, like being a Swarat, so Swarat can be used for Maharaj Yudhishthir as well as Swarat Pautram Vinayam. Pautra who is Swarat, and then he became Patim Bhumer. Swarat can be used with Maharaj uh, Parikshit as well, because Swarat Pautram Vinayanam, Swarat. So first we will just look at Swarat by understanding that it is for Maharaj Yudhishthir. Swarat Pautram Vinayanam. So the Pautra of Maharaj Yudhishthir, who is Vinayi, Atmana Susham Gune, and he's completely similar. Samam means same, Susamam means exactly same. Atmana Gune, in the qualities of Maharaj Yudhishthir, just like he's exactly same as Maharaj Yudhishthir in qualities. So Maharaj Yudhishthir is Dharamraj. That means Maharaj Parikshit was also Dharamraj, and therefore Toya Nivyah Patim Bhume. So Toya Nivyah means Toya Nivya means bordered by the seas, right? And then, yeah, so first part was Swarat Pautram Vinayanam Atmana Sushasham Gune. Maharaj Parikshit has all those qualities, which are the qualities mentioned by when Maharaj Parikshit was born. Uh, she, uh, when Maharaj Parikshit was born, Yudhishthir Maharaj asked the Brahmanas about how would he live. So Brahmanas started explaining that this child will be the will have great qualities. He will rule like you, and then there were many other things mentioned. And at the end, Brahmana says that he will die by the curse of another Brahmana. So, but Maharaj Yudhishthir was not concerned about how he will die. Maharaj Yudhishthir was only concerned about how he will live, because even if a person lives for 10,000s of year, but he is not in devotional service, he is not doing Krishna consciousness, it is of no use. But even if a person lives for few years, but if he is a devotee of the Lord, if he try to dovetail his activities in the devotional service, then it is a perfect life. So if we see, Maharaj Parikshit's life was not very long. It was around less than 100 years, as I understand, because there are different contexts. In one of the Mahabharat's translation, it is said he lived for around 168 years, but in another, it is said that he lived for 68 years. So there are different numbers for that, but he lived around 100 years. So his life was very small, like, compared to what people are living today. It's also 100, but in Treta Yuga and in Satya Yuga, the life of the people were very long. But Brahmanas mentioned that Maharaj Parikshit will be the devotee of Lord Krishna. And since he is saved by Lord Krishna from the Brahmastra weapon, he will be known by the name of the Lord as well. In the sense, he will be known as Vishnu Rata, one who is saved by Lord Vishnu inside the womb. So all those qualities of Maharaj Parikshit is mentioned in the first two lines. And then in the next two lines, it said, Toya Nivya Patim Bhume Abhyashincha Gajahave. Gajahave. Gajahave word means the capital of Hastinapur. But one may think, why is it said Gajahave? Gaj means the elephant. So it is true that earlier the place where Hastinapur is, it had so many elephants, and elephants is the sign of royalty, uh, and there were so many of them that it started to know as Gajahvaye. So that is the capital of Hastinapur. And if we see now in America, we have the capital of America. We say the Washington talk with New Delhi. uh, that is to say that India capital is Delhi, and then United States capital is in Washington, and then China is Beijing. So now we have different capitals of different countries, but earlier there used to be uh, one capital of the whole world, and a single emperor would rule the whole world. Now the question is, bordered by the seas, Toya, Nivya, and then whole. So, what do you understand? Which of these countries, I have shown the globe over here, right? Which of these countries do you think is bordered by the sea? Maybe
Almost every country.
almost every country. Any other answer?
What question, Prabhu? One more time, can you tell, Prabhu?
Yeah. So the word Toya, Nivya, that the word Toya Nivyaha means bordered by the sea. So my question was, which countries are bordered by the sea?
Yeah, I would probably agree with Vidagdha Madhav Prabhu. It looks like all the countries are seems to be bordered by the sea.
Yes. So earlier the kings used to rule the whole world. There used to be one king. That was in Hastinapur, that the area where I'm pointing right now. So that was Hastinapur, the capital of the whole world, and there were sub states, and there were kings over there as well. But all those kings were report to the king of Hastinapur. Just like we have in United States, we now have many states, and then we have ministers, and then we have one president. So president is like considered the emperor of the whole America in one sense. And since America is so powerful now, it's not that America controls the other countries also, but America is considered very powerful. But still nowadays we see that America is not able to stop the war between Russia and Ukraine and things like that. So even though it is very powerful, but still it doesn't have the control. So maybe the president may be said as emperor, but he's still not emperor, because emperor means he is able to control the other countries as well. He's so powerful. But along with the power, there need to be vinaya as well, humility as well. Now, why I ask this question is because we have been grown up with the idea that our uh, that all these scriptures are myth, and then who knows that if the whole Prithvi was covered, was ruled by one king, right? Therefore, what I did is I actually made a from Srimad Bhagavatam, reference from Srimad Bhagavatam, and I took this as the rulership as per Vishnu Purana and Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't know, most of you are versed with like most of you are in IT and engineering, so you may understand this graph. On the left axis over here we have different events, which is like disappearance of Lord Krishna, that happened around 3102 BCE as per Shila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And then there are two y-axes over here, and then there's two x-axis over here, and there is a y-axis here. So on the y-axis we see continuous events where we have disappearance of Lord Krishna, Parikshit Maharaj ruled, and then Parikshit Ikshvaku and Magda dynasty, and then Pradyotana dynasty, Shishugna dynasty, Nanda dynasty, Maurya dynasty, in which King Ashoka appeared. And then there is a map also, which nowadays people have, like how they understand how King Ashoka was able to rule all over at least half part of even like Afghanistan, Pakistan, and even parts of Russia and China. So this is like in Magda dynasty, and then we have Susanga dynasty, Kanva dynasty, Andhra race, Abhira, Garbadis, Kanakas, Christ appearance. I have put it over here. And then as when the Christ appeared, that is like 1 year of Jesus Christ, and then that is around 3102. So 3102 years before Lord Jesus Christ was the disappearance of Lord Krishna. And all these dynasties are actually given in Srimad Bhagavatam. All these dynasties are actually given in the 12th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 1 and 2. And then some of the like the first part, which is Parikshit Maharaj, Ikshvaku, and Magda dynasty, are actually given in Vishnu Puran from Canto 4, chapter 21, 22, 23. So then Andhra race, Abhira, Gandharva, Kanakas, and then Maula dynasty. 23-year-old Aryabhatta appeared around 490s, 499, and then he was a very great mathematician. He said that uh, by the way, according to Aryabhatta, he actually translated Surya Siddhant, and from there, even today's astrologer uses the Surya Siddhants from. And then Surya Siddhant are actually our Vedic in our Vedic scripture, so he translated them and he used Surya Siddhant. And then we have the mention of King of Kilkalis, and then appearance of Lord Chaitanya is shown over here. And ISKCON registered in 1996, and then 2026 is where we are currently. So if you see the line over here, which is a dark line, is like accurate dating can be found in modern history. And then dotted line is max reach approximation of modern history knowledge. So And that is like approximation as well. When someone says, okay, maybe King Ashoka appeared somewhere in 400 BCE. BCE is like before Christ era or before century era. So after the appearance of Lord Jesus Christ, it started as from 1, 2, 3, and therefore we are in 2026 year. And before that is the minus numbers over here. But how Aryabhatta explained it as when the Kali Yuga started, he took it as zero, the first year, as the Kali Yuga started. And according to our scriptures, the disappearance of Lord Krishna is when Kali Yuga started. Therefore, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur mentions that as 3102 BC, and even Srila Prabhupada at different places in Bhagavad Gita mentions it as 3102. So that is the disappearance of Lord Krishna. Uh, yeah, and then like the modern history reaches to Indus Valley. They talk about Indus Valley, and they go even just till here, like 2000, 1500 BCE, and even that is high approximation. They don't know what happened over here. So the point is, what I'm trying to mention is, when Parikshit Maharaj ruled, which is like for 68 years, he conquered the whole world. He was called the emperor of the whole world. And then Lord Buddha appeared in these dynasty, and then King Ashoka appeared over here when he got so much uh, so much. I mean, um Ashoka was so like he wanted to rule the whole world, uh, but eventually because of Lord Buddha's teachings, he got the understanding of non-violence, and therefore he stopped there. So have faith that what we have in our scriptures is actually the true knowledge, and what we are getting nowadays from social media and from material scientists, so to say, who depend on some test which is called carbon dating test, and they say that okay, uh, they find a plate and they say, okay, this plate was in from 400 BCE, but and then from this plate they prove, okay, this is from King Ashoka's time. It is not. I mean, there are so many approximations in there, but in our scriptures we have exact timeline given for all these appearances and disappearances. And the timeline from Lord Krishna's disappearance to 2026 is just like 5,000 years. It's not even, it's like 5127 years after Lord Krishna's disappearance. So yes, so that was the second point I wanted to discuss, that toya nivyahi patim bhume. So when Srila Prabhupada was mentioning that, we learned that okay, America was discovered recently, but Srila Prabhupada was saying no, it is not true. America was discovered even before. Maharaj Parikshit was ruling the whole world. So we may think, oh, really? How come then America was discovered recently? Uh, so we should not have any doubt, the because we have the rulership in our Puranas given, and then nowadays, because the rulership is so nicely given, and then these Puranas and all, they were written by Srila Vedvyaji during this time frame. So they had this doubt, how come they know about all these futuristic things? So that's why they don't believe in our scriptures. Yeah. And by the way, this what we just saw is just like this time. So if each data point on this graph is taken as 100 years, we are only this till here. Disappearance of Lord Krishna happened in this yuga, which is Treta Yuga, and Dwapar Yuga, and before that it was Treta Yuga and Satya Yuga. So we are only studying this much. We only know this much, and then modern historians, they don't even know what happened in half part of this. So it is quite fascinating to see what all information is given in our Puranas. Yeah, and then by the way, so this is what is given in our Vishnu Purana. As you can see, Canto 4, Chapter 21, that Maharaj Parikshit had four sons: Janmijay, Shutasena, Ugrasena, Bhimsena, and then he had his son Shatanika, Ashwamedhatta, and so on. And then Hastinapur area got drowned by flooded Mother Ganga. And then there were many kings mentioned in the Maharaj Parikshit's dynasty. So after Maharaj Parikshit disappeared, after his rulership, there were many other kings from his dynasty. And then eventually his dynasty ended at the king Shemaka. And then we have in Vishnu Puran, we have mentions of Ikshvaku dynasty, which start with Brida Bala. And then at Sumitra, the king Sumitra, it got finished. And then we have a next dynasty, Magda dynasty. It starts with Jarasandha, and it went till Ripunjaya, and that went on till 1,000 years. And then this is then Magda dynasty came, and this is what Srimad Bhagavatam explains now. Uh, so in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in chapter 1, from verse 1 to 3, they describe about Pradyotana dynasty, which ruled for 138 years, Shishugna dynasty, which ruled for 360 years. And then there was a famous king, Nanda. He was a very powerful son in the womb of Shudra woman. That's how it is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then it is said, from your birth up to the coronation of King Nanda, 1150 years will pass. And then after then King Nanda, who was very very powerful, he had 8 sons. And then he was betrayed by a Brahmana. And then Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Srila Sridhar Swami said that is the Chanakya Pandit who actually betrayed King Nanda, and he actually started a new king dynasty. So that was the dynasty of Maurya dynasty, Chandragupta Maurya. And then from Chandragupta Maurya, there is Ashoka Vardhana mentions, who is like King Ashoka. And then Maurya dynasty went on for 137 years. So, and then after Maurya dynasty, Sunga kings appeared. And then the last king in their dynasty was Deva Bhuti. So Vasudev, an intelligent minister coming from the Kanva family, will kill the last king of Sunga kings, a lusty debauchee named Devabhuti, and assume rulership himself. So that is given in the 12th canto, chapter 1, 18th verse. So Devabhuti was a very lusty person. Therefore Vasudev killed him, and then Vasudev Kanva dynasty started, which was headed by Vasudev. And then ended with Susharma. Susharma, the last of the Kanva, Susharma, will be murdered by his own servant Bali. So Bali is the servant of Susharma, a low-class Shudra of Andhra race. This most degraded Maharaj Bali will have control over the earth for some time. This is given in 12th canto, first chapter, 20th verse. And then Bali, the servant of Susharma, became the king. And then Andhra race began, which went on for 456 years. And then 7 kings of Abhira race from the city of Abravati, which is like 27th verse, and 10 Gandharbis, 16 kings of Kanakas, Yavanas, Turkash, and then so on. When all of them have died off, there will appear in the city of Kilkili the dynasty of kings consisting of Bhutnada, Vangira, Shishunandi's brother Yashonandi, and Pravikara. Srimad Bhagavatam 12, Canto, first chapter, 29-31 verses. So now the 106 years of Kilkali dynasty started. And after that, these two have like 13 other sons. And then Bahilakas, King Pushpamitra. And then it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam next, same time, different kings rule different parts of the world. So this was the time when the around what I calculated in this graph is like around 700 BCE. And then this was the time when Muhammad also appeared. So it is explained, he will turn all the civilized class into low class uncivilized men in the same categories as Pulindas, Yadus, and Madrakas. And then so on. The information is given in our Srimad Bhagavatam as well. So there's nothing to doubt when we read about the modern historian explaining the timeline by doing some carbon dating experiments, or um, understanding from some other scriptures, Greek scriptures, that the rulership was till 400 years, 500 years. One should depend completely on the timeline given in Srimad Bhagavatam. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, the timeline is given in this manner. And then as you can see in Vishnu Puran, it is mentioned after 5,000 years. So that is like 5,000 years, 5,000 years over here. And then I had one more graph where I had like, wait, let me see. That was in a different PPT. Okay. Yes. So if you see over here, 5,000 years, 4997 year after the disappearance of Lord Krishna is actually when Srila Prabhupada appeared. And it is given in our scripture that 5,000 years after the Kali Yuga has passed, there will be a golden period. So after, so you can see like the golden period, like gold Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared after 4,500 years, and he predicted Prithvi te achi yata nagar adigram sarvatra prachar haibe moranam, and no one believed. Later there was a time in between when no one believed that how come this is possible, that everywhere there will be names of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and now we are seeing that everyone is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. All over the world, the chanting of the holy name is going on. We just finished 64 round day yesterday, and it was like I was just chanting at home, just thinking everyone is chanting today in the temple. So I was feeling a positive vibration even while sitting and chanting over here at my home. So the point is, we are in the time when we are in the golden time, and then as we saw, the verse ends with Srila Prabhupada ends the verse with saying, uh, the influence of the age of Kali gradually infiltrated the good qualities of both king and the citizens. So we saw the different kings coming, and then there were so many. There was Lord Buddha who had to come in order to proclaim that no, don't. The Vedas are not teaching what you are doing, killing the animals, and then again animal killing started now we see. But what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here is the influence of the age of Kali gradually infiltrated the good qualities of both the kings and the citizen, and therefore a tense situation developed between the ruler and the ruled. But still, even in this age of disparity between the ruler and the ruled, there can be spiritual emolument and God consciousness. This is a special prerogative of this age of Kali. So we are in a very, very special time, and just by taking the help of the holy name of the Lord and taking the part in this movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even if we don't take the part in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, the movement will still go on. It is like the Ganges is flowing. It is up to the other person to just go to the Ganges and take the water. It is the desire of the other person. Don't think that Ganges won't flow if we won't take part. If I, for example, I may think, okay, if I will not do book distribution, will there be no book distribution? No, that is not true. Will there be no Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement all over the world? No, it is not true. Even if I don't take the part, uh, there will be Prithvi te achiyat nagaradikam sarvatra pracharaive moranam. In every town and village, there will be Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and there will be chanting of the holy names of Lord Hari. So that is the special prerogative of today's age. So the finally, just want to end with saying that we discussed three things. First is about the qualities of Maharaj Yudhishthir and Maharaj Parikshit, and how Maharaj Yudhishthir chosen Maharaj Parikshit. And because Maharaj Yudhishthir was the emperor of the whole world, he actually chose Maharaj Parikshit as the emperor of the whole world. And because everyone actually trusted Maharaj Yudhishthir with 100% heart, therefore they whoever Maharaj Yudhishthir chose, they believed okay, he may have chosen a right person. And that is also one of the duty of the king, to choose the next person. A king should be a perfect devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. Only then there can be a peaceful society. As we see now, there are some laws which says okay, there can be abortion, there can be no abortion. There's so many negativities, so many positivities, but no one is ruling according to dharma. No one knows what is dharma. So there need to be understanding of this Krishna consciousness among the rulers of the society. So that is what the first two lines we understood, and the second two lines, toya nivya patim bhume abhyasinchat gajah avaye. From that we learned that in the current history there is a lot of manipulation of our scriptures, and there are a lot of manipulations of the facts that already exists. So we don't have to get carried away through them, and have complete faith in Srimad Bhagavatam and complete faith in our scriptures. So we discussed those 3 points. Any discussion points? I would like to invite that. Hare Krishna.
Thanks, prabhuji, for taking your time and meditating and coming up with a graph. Very, I don't think I've ever seen that in class, so it's unique and nice. You can hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, your voice is a little. Your voice is a little. Unclear, Prabhuji.
Okay, hold on. Can you hear any better?
Yes, little better.
I was saying thank you for taking the time and sharing your thoughts and your meditations, and this, the graph of the history was unique. Thank you. And I was thinking about this how you're saying that even if we're not engaged in the movement of Lord Chaitanya, it'll still go on. And I've heard other devotees bring that point up, and they added that but it's our great fortune that we get the opportunity to like plug into the mercy and assist Lord Chaitanya, assist Srila Prabhupada, assist our Guru Janas in sharing the wealth of bhakti with the people of Kali Yuga. So even though like it's gonna go on no matter what, but what are we gonna do to get the benefit of plugging into that flow of mercy? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Balnitay Prabhu. Yes, for mentioning that. I think I might have missed that. But yes, we should definitely take part. Therefore, that should be the summary, the most important thing, because this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement will continue with the greater force. And now we see, like all over the world, people are already chanting the holy names of Lord. So we should we should try our 100%. We should give our 100% of energy in the movement of Lord Chaitanya. And because just yesterday when I was just reading that Kevala Ashtakam, in that we saw that life can end anytime. So, and we don't know when will life end. And in case of Maharaj Parikshit also same thing happened. 7 days only left, but he, instead of being an emperor, he could have directly counteracted that. But he was not that pride and arrogance that I am the emperor, I can counteract it. No, he just took shelter of the holy name. He took shelter of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should also take shelter of Lord Krishna's holy name and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's and Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and take the great fortune that we are here. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for mentioning that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you so
Prabhu.
much, Prabhu. Yeah, very nice class. It's a lots of information. Especially thanks for presenting all the slides. Those are very very useful. Many of them I was not aware. At least I read in the school days, but definitely there's a lot of information. Yes, mainly the Lord Krishna Sera, then Parikshit Maharaj, then before BC, after BC. It's very very useful information, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Is there any way, Prabhu, probably can you share that information, those slides, just for my knowledge?
Yes, Prabhuji, sure, Prabhuji. We have, I made these graphs. I want to cross check. Uh, I made sure it is correct from Vishnu Puran, took proper references, but I'll cross check properly and then had my Guru Janas. Uh, I don't know if today he's not on our call,
No, no, no,
but
no, no rush, Prabhu, no rush.
yeah,
Whenever,
I'll
yeah,
check with
you
them
can, yeah.
if everything is correct. I don't want to share the wrong information, but I'm 99% sure that I made sure every year and everything is correct. Uh, yes, Prabhuji. Because, even when I find, I try to see the modern historians, they, first of all, they don't believe. First of all, they don't believe in such a timeline. What they say, for example, just giving an example, that King Ashoka, which is over here according to our scripture, which is like, if you see, definitely he is before BC, like before Christ, but he was over here like 400 BCE. That's what they mentions. But our scriptures mention that he is over here in Maurya dynasty, and even Srila Vishnu Chakrabarti Thakur and Srila Sridhar Swami commentaries mentions things like Chanakya Pandit. Uh, so there is like discrepancy in the two data set. What modern historians present is little different, and what we see in the Shastra is little different. So yeah, my intention was to also publish this in some research paper to show like what is the correct order given in Srimad Bhagavatam. And I think there might already be, but yeah, I'll cross check with some of my gurujanas, and then yeah, I'll share it with the other devotees as well.
Sure. Thank you, Prabhu. I have that because I have one follow-up question, Prabhu. One of the slides you mentioned Bali. I think maybe that we are not talking about Vamana Avatar and Bali Chakravarti, correct? This is a different Bali.
Yeah, this is a different Bali. He's a
Yeah.
servant of this king Susharma,
Sure.
and
Okay.
he actually cheated this Susharma. The last of the Kanva Susharma will be murdered by his own servant Bali, a low class Shudra of the Andhra race. This most degraded Maharaj Bali will have control over the earth for some time. So even though he was a servant of Susharma, he would actually be the king for some time, and then later his brother Krishna, and his name is Krishna. So because of these common names, also people get confused.
Yeah.
Modern historians say the Krishna appeared here, so
Yeah.
there are so much of doubt because of that. But actually, this is a different Krishna, he is a brother of Bali, and he became the king later after. Yeah.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a different Bali, Prabhuji. This is a different Bali.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, very nice illustration of all the information you collated from Srimad Bhagavatam. I think excellent effort. Thank you for actually putting this together. Really appreciate it. So I always had this one question, Prabhuji. I mean, for example, Srimad Bhagavatam has so many slokas, right? So how all these things have been preserved for all these ages, right? Is it just the oral tradition by which these things were preserved, or were there any, written scripts from Srila Vyasdev's time? Do you know?
That is a good point. Maybe Bal Nitai Prabhu or someone else may answer. But what my understanding says is, when I was reading in the Bhagavatam Mahatmya, it is said that Bhagavatam was first recited by Gokarna 30 years, around 36 years after the disappearance. After the first time it was instructed to Maharaj Parikshit. So after the Maharaj Parikshit disappearance, first time it was over here, and then one time it was over here. So I felt it is written by Srila Vyasdev already, and then many times it was spoken by different people, and now we have Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and before that it was Srila Sridhar Swami who actually translated the who translated the Sanskrit words into Sanskrit, and then later from Srila Sridhar Swami there were commentaries of different acharyas. So yeah, maybe Balnitai Prabhu or someone else may also comment on this question, Prabhuji.
I don't think I have anything specific to add. Yeah.
I just wanted to thank you for the beautiful class, Prabhu. I really enjoyed your presentation and the timeline and how you explained how the king should be. You went in detail, and like the word by word was also very, very nice. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So just to top it all, wonderful presentation. I joined a bit late. I want to go and listen to the beginning of the class, but I see so much efforts have gone into preparing the slides and research, and that's amazing, Prabhu. Thank you so much. And it was very, very interesting, as Sridhar Prabhu said and everyone else said, to look at the timelines. And I think you should definitely present it as a research paper and see, where this goes. Yeah. Thank you so much again, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Damodara Krishna Prabhu. Thank you. As devotees expressed their reflections, very thorough research on various topics, especially two particular words which connected. And the main points what you explored is Swarat and Toya Nivya, right? The Emperor Yudhishthira to Parikshit, and the timelines as Prabhu's mentioned, right? I mean, right from Krishna's departure to till date, the modern age.
Yeah.
How you made that research and brought it down into a y-axis, x-axis, and bringing the timelines was very nice, Prabhu. Thank you for bringing this topic. I was thinking, like, I mean, I understand, like, how is it connected to this age, but I mean, you mentioned about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, I understood the reference and why you brought it. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for exploring and presenting.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Yeah, this verse was more. I felt if it would have been covered by Jai Sachinandan Prabhu, it would have been more better. But because the information is more like related to how the rulership should be, and he is already a ruler, not like of the whole world, but at least of our temple. So he has more idea about the rulership and then how it should be. So for hearing, so the good thing would be next week he would be speaking. So even the next verse is similar, where Maharaj Yudhishthir actually gives what's that king? He hand over the Vajra. He hand over it to Vajra and Maharaj Parikshit, two people. So to Maharaj Parikshit he gave Hastinapur, and to Vajra he gave Mathura area. Those were the two kings. So yeah, I think it would be nice to hear from Jai and Prabhuji.
Prabhu. Haribol, does any other devotees have any reflections, comments, questions? If not, we are on top of the hour. Thank you, Damodara Krishna Prabhu. Thanks for taking time and doing this wonderful class. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much, Prabhu, for the opportunity. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Bharat.
Prabhu.
Thank you
Hare
so much,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hare Krishna.
Devotees, we have initiations at temple at 10:30, followed by Maharaj's lecture. His Holiness
Who's
Prabhupada
getting
Swami
initiated,
Maharaj.
Prabhu?
Yeah, I think two Seattle devotees are getting second initiation, Prabhu.
Okay. Very nice.
Wow.
Okay,
Right.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, at this moment, can we end the call, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.